Welcome back to another live human design transit report. I am excited to get you this information this week because we just had a pretty good transit. I wasn't able to go live with that particular transit report because of the book launch, but the book launch was awesome. Look at it. Look at it. We are currently number 17 on the Barnes & Noble bestsellers list. So thank you to everyone who supported the book launch. Super exciting, but it did consequently make me a little bit busy when it came to doing the report. So I'm excited to get you this information for gates 18 and 17 because it is a doozy. So in our conscious sun, we have the gate of correction. And so this is an energy that pushes you to fix what seems imperfect or needs improvement. And so this is important because there's a heavy conditioning influence from our parents being triggered right now. It's important to understand that the parental influence that people were once subject to is actually the source of their natural ability to criticize. And I like to bring in saying sometimes that makes things tangible. So our parents would say, you know what, if I want something done right, I got to do it myself. Or I should only I have to ask you to do something one time. Or maybe even, and this is so much pressure on a child, you should look a certain way because you are a reflection of me, right? Anyone else's parents used to say that. And so when we think about these things and we think about the conditioning potential that lies in each of these sayings, we can see how that inner perfectionist tries to come out. And so the 18th gate, it's located in the spleen. And so the spleen is an awareness center, but it's also where we house a lot of our fears. And so the 18th gate represents the fear of authority and the challenge to that authority, which is why it can be difficult now, even as adults, to go back and challenge our beliefs, to choose for ourselves what feels right instead of listening to what we were told. It can be scary, even sometimes. And so that's our conscious sun. Then we have our earth, which is the gate of opinions. And so, holders of this gate, which we all are holders until October 2nd, we just entered into this transit today. These are people who form opinions with the thought of the future in order to be useful or to serve something. There may be a feeling of added awareness or pressure to organize the solutions of your doubts into a working concept that's ready to be expressed with others. Gate 17 forms its opinion based on its response to doubts. And so that's really important because it should be noted that at this stage, the opinions are more theoretical and they need the presence of details and precise facts in order for it to be concrete. And so, what helps during this time when we have this gate of correction with influence from our conditioning and our parents and things like that. And then we have this gate of opinions, which is constantly focused on the future and the doubts that we're forming our opinions from. What helps during this time is tolerance. It's the ability to look at things from a different perspective. It's having mental flexibility. And what hinders during this time is mistrust, especially mistrust in one's self. So many of us have gotten out of alignment with the wisdom and the knowledge that is stored in our body. We're so focused on the outside noise. We're so focused on external validation that when our intuition tells us something, when our bodies, especially us generators, our bodies tell us or we immediately jump to the mind and logic when there's so much wisdom there, and we begin to fall out of alignment and mistrust ourselves. So that hinders us. What also hinders us is a reliance on other people's opinions, maybe even having some excessive self criticism. Be kind to yourself, right? What helps is tolerance. Also, what hinders is being rigid in adhering to one's beliefs and habits. It can be so helpful to take a fresh look, to take a fresh perspective on something that you were once super hard and concrete on, especially if it's stemming from a place that you learned it and it's not actually something that you believe and it's no longer serving you. So challenge your beliefs. One of the questions, and it was a loaded question that came from actually gate 18. It was, do I struggle with perfectionism? Do I often judge and criticize myself? How does that keep me stuck? What can I do to let go of the need to be perfect? And this goes back to parental conditioning. We felt and feared that if we went against our parents' beliefs, what society and our friends told us was right, we feared that we would be rejected, ostracized. But when we lean on those things for too long, too heavily, and they don't serve us, and they begin to take an effect on our physical bodies. I referenced a book earlier today. It's called The Body Keeps Score, which talks about how emotions and trauma get stored and trapped in our bodies. And so when we hold on to things for too long and too heavily, these things start to show up in our physical body and in our mental health. Think about burnout, think about anxiety, think about depression, etc. And so it's when we can welcome that mental flexibility and let go of this heavy reliance on other people's opinions, especially during this week, especially as we enter into a new transit today on September 25th. We're going to be experiencing this energy of correction and opinions until the second. So I encourage you to look within, to really start to challenge those beliefs. And I also want to leave you with a reminder that the finishing touches on Limitless You are being finalized this week. I'm looking at next week to officially launch and open this community up to you. And this is going to be a place where these lives are going to move. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to start planning when these lives are going to happen and sending out emails or even text message reminders, depending on what you opt into, to let you know, hey, we're about to go live. And to have you send questions beforehand so that if you can't make it live, I can answer your questions for you. And if you need more clarification, there will be a safe container for you to ask those questions and DM me. I also will be moving the reflection questions from the blog into the community so that you can really engage and grow with like-minded individuals who are processing the same cosmic energies that we're going through, so that you can know that you're not alone with the challenges that come with welcoming these different energies or having amplification of certain energies in your chart as we move and shift and shake with each of these different transits. So the community is going to be a beautiful place where you can tune in to these lives. You can know when they're going out ahead of time. There'll be a replay tab for you to check the replays in case you missed whatever the live time was in the afternoon during the day. There'll be Q&A afterwards for you to bring your questions about your chart, about your family and friends charts, about people that you're really curious and want answers for. I will encourage this. And so this is going to happen every week, going live, doing the Q&A every week. And when you participate in the reflection question challenges, there's actually going to be a leaderboard and you'll be rewarded for engaging with the community. At the end of every month, I'm going to pick a special winner who has really showed up and played full out in working with their strategy and authority and understanding how these energies affect them. And we're going to have a personal one-to-one via Zoom where you can bring your burning questions. If you want to know more about your chart specifically, you don't know where to start, we'll have the time to really get deep into these specific areas. So I'm super excited for the launch of Limitless U, which is Limitless University. It's a play on words. And I'm excited for you to join me in there. The investment will only be $33 a month, so it will be very manageable for you to get the information and insights that you need to succeed. So if you want to learn more about when that launches and sign up to stay in the know, that's the wrong ticker. It's diamonddripconsulting.com. And I hope to see you in there next week when it launches. Until then, you can definitely head to the website, get your autographed copy of Destiny Expose. I'm super excited that it's finally launched. And remember, the limit does not exist, but fear and self-doubt will make you believe that it does. Challenge your beliefs. Really unpack where they're coming from so that you can choose for yourself to empower yourself with the information. All right, until then.